The views, information, and opinions expressed during the following program are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent the views of Access Communications, its representatives, or its employees.
All right, good evening and welcome to Weyburn City Council. Last meeting of the month of November, 6 o'clock, and away we go. We have got a busy agenda tonight, a couple of bylaws coming up, as well as some development permits. So we've got lots of work to do. Let's get to work. I think everybody is here. I would like to, before we get started, acknowledge our new youth mayor, Harper Williams, has joined us tonight. So Harper, welcome to the club. You got lots of hard questions I've heard already, so it's good to go. Welcome to the club. Happy to have you here. If at any time you want to say something, you put your hand up. I know you're eager to get... No, I know you're not. Just kidding. I will ask first for a motion to approve the minutes from the November 10th meetings.
Thank you, Your Worship. I would like to make a motion that the minutes of the regular council meeting and the strategic planning and priorities meeting held on November 10th, 2025 be approved.
I will second that motion.
Thank you. Any comments, edits, omissions from the minutes? Hearing none, then I'll call the question. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Next up our agenda. Any additions to the agenda as presented? Administration?
Yeah, thanks, Your Worship. No additions tonight from administration.
Thank you. Council? None. All right. Public hearings and notices? There are none. No delegations, proclamations, or petitions. Reports of standing committees. I will always ask this if there's any councillors that have committees they're sitting on and you wanted to report to council, administration, or the public on those. None today? Good, thank you. All right, so next up then is the consent agenda. There is nothing on the consent agenda. We'll go right over that. Straight out of the gate, it is the Recreation Facilities Tax Levy, and we will look to the Director of Finance for this.
Thank you. So at the November 10th council meeting, council gave administration direction to develop a recreation facilities tax levy bylaw. A recreation facility tax levy will result in an increase in revenue for 2026, and therefore the levy must be reflected in the 2026 budget. Any funds collected by the levy will be applied to the cost of recreational facilities, including the cost of maintenance, renovations, expansion, or establishment of new recreation facilities. So the following levy options have been provided. These were provided at the last council meeting as well. We just included an amount for $100 per door or $100 on all property doors. So at $100 per door on just the residential condos and multifamily, that would result in $520,000. If it's 150, it's $780,000, and $200 would be just over $1 million. And if we included $100 on all property doors, it would be $560,000. 150 would be 840, almost $41,000, and 200 on all property doors would be $1.1 million. So the addition of a recreation facility tax levy will increase property taxes and provide for necessary facility improvements and expansion. Council can choose a phased-in approach with a gradual levy increase, for example, $100 in 2026, $150 in 2027, and $200 in 2028 and thereafter. The current 2026 budgeted property tax increase for a $300,000 assessed property is at a mill rate increase of 6.5%, which is $75, and a base tax increase of $65 for a total increase of $140. The recreation facility tax levy would add an additional amount to the 2026 property taxes. So we are asking council to provide administration with direction to add a specified amount as to the recreation facility tax levy to the 2026 budget, including which properties it will be applied to.
Thank you, Director Massal. All right, let's get a motion on the floor first so we can debate.
Sure. So I apologize, City Clerk.
We will go over this afterwards, too, if you need it. But I will make the motion that council directs administration to prepare a recreation facilities tax levy for inclusion in the 2026 budget using a phased-in approach, beginning with $100 per door on all properties in 2026, with $150 in 2027, and $200 in 2028.
Your Worship, I would like to second Councillor Morissette's well-worded motion.
All right. Questions, commentary, input? Councillor Sedlowski.
I had a question from a taxpayer regarding the personal care homes. So on here it has, for $100 for all property doors, it has $500. Would this be applied to the care home as a whole or specifically to those within? Like it would just be the $100 fee for the care home as a whole? Is that correct?
Yeah, typically it'd just be one per care home because they have one assessment.
Okay, and they had worried about putting that on
each
seniors, and I think the understanding was that they were concerned it was on each resident when not, some of them may not be able to use it. So, thank you.
Thanks for that. Next, Councillor Corrigan.
I'm going to be devil's advocate this evening. Although, even though I agree in principle that we need something to pay for new facilities, recreational facilities, and to support those that we have, I can't agree with the timing of this particular motion. I feel that if we were going to implement the levy, it should have been through the process of the budgetary process that we had through the previous number of months. I just feel the timing does not sit right with me. I don't know if there would be a significant change in moving forward if we delayed implementing the levy and included it in the budget process of next year. With that said, I would like to hear discussion around potentially, if we are going to do this, in lowering the levy for the upcoming year, if there's an appetite for that.
Okay. Commentary? Councillor Janke?
I agree in principle with Councillor Corrigan. As far as the timing is concerned, I rather think we probably needed this long before now, but I mean, in the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, the second best time is right now, metaphor. I guess my question to the group is what are we looking for that's not already in the phased-in approach to, like, if we're phasing it in anyway, what do we want to be lower next year? Maybe I'm not quite understanding the question.
Go ahead.
Would it be more palatable at this point if we begin the phased-in approach at a lower level? Again, it comes with the timing. Listen, I've talked to a number of people about this particular levy. It's both ends of the spectrum. Some say $200 isn't enough, that we should be even more than that. Others say $100 is too much. But right now, I don't believe that we've had enough time to get public input and to debate this and discuss it at this level, to implement it right now. That's just the feeling that I have at this point.
Anybody else right now got some commentary? Yeah, Councillor Morissette, sorry.
Thank you, Your Worship. I do see where you're coming from. You know, it's going to hurt. Like I've said to everyone, we all pay taxes here. We all pay whatever levies are brought forward by council because we are all taxpayers as well. And even budgeting in my house, it's going to get a little bit tight. But I think we do have to start somewhere. I see this pool as a long-term investment, and you've got to start investing at some point. And hopefully with this smaller phased-in approach, people can look at that potential $150 in 2027 and budget for that a little bit better. It's easier to find $100 over the next year than $200. So that's why I would really, I support a phased-in approach, and start it sooner than later.
Thank you. Councillor Badori, you had your hand up.
And I'll be the third wheel in this, this debate. I believe wholeheartedly that we should go right to $200 a door and right away, because we're talking, you know, as per last meeting, and this talks as a recreation levy, but we have a $30 million pool and a rink and all that stuff. This has to start now. If we push it down the road, it's just going to get worse. So I think we need to start building now, and yeah, I just think it's $200 a door plus.
Okay. Thank you. Councillor Higgs.
Although I agree with the idea of it would have been better under our budget, it didn't work out that way, and I think that it's, under current circumstances, the way it's laid out, I would support it.
And let's remember, we haven't approved our budget for 2026 yet. That'll happen at the next meeting. Sorry, Councillor Silasky.
Yeah, I would agree with Councillor Higgs. I also want to make sure that the public knows that this is not just directly for the pool. This is a recreation levy as a whole. So we do see some of these large items coming through, roof repairs, that kind of thing, and we can see that there is a lot that needs to be brought up to date, and there's a lot coming down in the next many years. So although I know that some people may not be happy about this, I think it is very important to start to plan for the future and ensure that our recreation has a little bit of a buffer, and we are able to look after things.
Thank you. Councillor Janke.
Just from my own understanding, because we haven't approved the budget yet, as you said, this would be added to it, and then we would still have a number of weeks for public consultation before we actually pass the budget.
Now, I'll make sure I understand this right. This would be a bylaw that would need to be passed. Is that right?
That's correct.
Right. So it wouldn't necessarily be included. Yes, it would be in the budget, but it would still take at least 2 more meetings to get this approved, because we would need to come back for second and third reading.
So this would be a part of when we do our mill rates and when we bring that all back.
Yep.
So that won't, direction would have to be provided for us to include this into budget.
Yeah.
And then final approval would happen during mill rates.
Does that help?
Yeah, that clears that up.
Yeah.
So that then, as part of the second reading, there would be a public hearing here.
Yeah, correct. All right. Go ahead, Councillor Corrigan.
I know I've spoken twice to this
That's okay,
already.
we'll bend the rules for this one too.
Is it not the public hearing happen at first reading?
No.
Or is it at second and third reading?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so the motion on the floor is a levy on all doors listed in that chart, $100 a door in 2026, $150 in 2027, and $200 in 2028. All right, so that motion is on the floor. So let's vote on that motion, and if we don't like that, we'll defeat it, and we'll have a different one. Okay? Is there any last discussion before? Yeah, go ahead, Councilor Morrison.
Sorry, and City Clerk, do I have to specify $200 moving forward as well? Because that would be the final increase.
No, I don't think so, because we would just include it in our budgets going forward.
And the bylaw would read so. Make sense? Yeah. All right, so we'll call the question. All in favor? Any opposed? So that is carried 5-2. We are on a run. This is great. Very good. Thank you, by the way, Director Masal. I know this is a lot of work for you when we throw these back at you and say, go make another chart and figure out this math. So thank you for that. And I appreciate the candid conversation around the table from council as well. Okay, thanks. Let's move on. Next up is sorry, I guess I skipped one. A change agreement here to Queen Street. Would look to the Director of Engineering for that one.
Thank you, Your Worship. On January 17th, 2024, Council gave third reading and passed Bylaw 2024-3490, being a bylaw to authorize the closure of a portion of Queen Street, legally described as ORA 56-08-14-2 Extension 0, with the location of the closure between Highway 39 and Regina Avenue. ISC recently issued a request to change the name of the strip of parcel we closed from PB4 to MB1, as it was determined it was no longer an acceptable identifier. All subdivision plans had to be resubmitted as well. According to the Public Notice Bylaw 2003-2094, notices must be given when amending or repealing a bylaw for which public notice was a requirement at the time the bylaw was passed. As such, if council gives first reading at this meeting, public notices will be sent out in accordance with the city's public notice policy for the public hearing to occur on December 8th, 2025 at the regular council meeting. Notices will be advertised in the November 26th and December 3rd, 2025 editions of the Weyburn Review posted at City Hall and on the city website. So it is recommended that council gives first reading to bylaw 2025-3507, being a bylaw to amend bylaw 2024-3490, which authorized the closure of a portion of Queen Street legally described as ORA 56-08-14-2 extension 0 and STL3 Plan 71R18860 parcel 2041-71-870 with the location of the closure between Highway 39 and Regina Avenue.
Thank you, Director Cognizant. Can I get a motion, please?
Your Worship, I begrudgingly move that council gives first reading to bylaw 2025-3507, being a bylaw to amend bylaw 2024-3490, which authorized the closure of a portion of Queen Street legally described as ORA 56-08-14-2 extension 0 and Street Lane 3 Plan 71R18860 parcel 204171-870 with location of the closure between Highway 39 and Regina Avenue.
A seconder?
I'll second that, Your Worship. Can I get you to repeat that, though?
I would love to repeat that.
All right. Questions or commentary on this one? Yes, Councillor Janke.
So I don't fully understand why we're doing this other than the fact that ISC wants all of their numbers to match. Is it because it's no longer a road access that it has to have a different code in its name? Because honestly, if you'd sent this to us in April, I would have thought it was an April Fool's Day joke.
Yes, so that is correct. So the portion of the parcel adjacent to Highway 39 was before designated for the highway widening, and it just had a different name to it. So with the consolidation of the parcels, they needed the name described as PR1, so, or MB1, sorry. So it was, that is all to it. It's just the naming.
Understood.
Yeah.
I thought understanding this would make me feel better, but it does not.
Councillor Morissette.
I just wanted to know what PB4 and MB1 stood for.
Oh, well, Shara can answer that.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
I believe it's municipal buffer and provincial buffer.
Thank you.
Thank you. Other questions? All right. Hearing none, then I'll call the question. All in favor? And that is carried. Thank you very much. Pardon? Any opposed? That's carried 6-1. All right, next up is our debt financing bylaw. Back to the Director of Finance, if you would, please.
Okay, the 2025 budget included debt financing of $3 million. Administration advised the intention for debt financing in the September 24th and October 1st Weyburn Review. No responses were received. At the October 14th council meeting, council passed resolution 2025-155 to borrow by way of debentures in the sum of $2,950,000 to cover the payment of the police station roof repair for $450,000 and the lift station upgrades and water main replacements for $2,473,000. The terms of the loan will be that the principal interest will be paid yearly over 10 years with interest calculated at the Municipal Finance Corp of Saskatchewan current interest rate to a maximum of 4.5% under the offer to sell debentures. MFC's current rate is 4.05%. So administration recommends council give second and third reading and pass bylaw 2025-3505, a bylaw to provide for the creation of debt not payable within the current year.
Thank you, Director Massal. All right, the motion.
I'll move that council give second reading to bylaw 2025-3505, a bylaw to provide for the creation of a debt not payable within the current year.
Thank you. Seconder?
I'll second that motion, Your Worship.
Thank you. Okay, any comments or questions on this? Nope. Hearing none, then? Call the question. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. If you would.
I'll move that council gives third reading and passes bylaw 2025-3505, a bylaw to provide for the creation of debt not payable within the current year.
I will second that motion, Your Worship.
Thank you. All right, last chance for questions. Hearing none, then we'll call the vote. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Thank you very much for that one. I'm going to have to look for every vote now, but look more carefully. I got your message last time. On then to new business we go, and it's time that our Planning and Development Coordinator, Malcolm, you're lined up, you got the rest of the evening, so why don't you start us off with the development permit that is 10A.
All right. Okay, so we received a development permit application from Trent Martin and Crystal Glowacki to get approval for the placement of 7 sets of shipping containers, with each set consisting of 4 partitions to be used for long-term storage at 1531 First Avenue Northwest. The proposal is to place the shipping containers on the northeast section of the property and to be used for storage. The site is currently zoned highway commercial, and although placement of a shipping container is a permitted use, the placement of more than 2 requires approval from council. So the subject property, as mentioned, is located within the medium industrial zone, and surrounding properties are zoned light industrial and medium industrial, with the closest residentially zoned properties being more than 120 meters from that property. The shipping container will be screened from the neighboring commercial property to the west by mature trees and fencing. The shipping containers will have a setback from the front property line of more than 3 meters, so it will have minimal impact on the visibility and sight lines along East Avenue and will not encroach on the road right of way. All right. And that's just the proposed location of the containers. And this is an example of the containers that they'll be placing on site. All right, so council options. Option 1, approve the placement of the shipping containers for storage as proposed without further conditions. Option 2, approve the placement of the shipping containers for storage as proposed, subject to the following conditions. Products stored must be directly related to the primary commercial use. Shipping containers are prohibited for the storage of junk, trash, or other forms of refuse, hazardous substances, or perishable items. The shipping containers shall be kept locked to prevent unauthorized access. The shipping containers shall be placed on hard, packed, level surface, and any bottom drainage holes shall be secured against the environment and or rodents. Shipping containers are prohibited from being plumbed or electrified and shall be painted and maintained to be aesthetically pleasing. If any outdoor storage on the site, then section 5.4 of the zoning bylaw shall be complied with. Storage shall be completely screened by a solid wall or fence of at least 1.83 meters high, and the storage area shall be maintained to reduce the adverse visual effects of the storage and to enhance public health and safety by preventing the contamination of the urban environment. Any areas not occupied by buildings, parking, loading, or storage shall be landscaped in accordance with section 15.1.2 of the zoning bylaw. And all property, including land, buildings, structures, and outdoor storage shall be maintained with the minimum standards as set out in the City of Weyburn Property Maintenance Bylaw 2022.3452. And option 3, refuse the replacement of a shipping container for storage as proposed for the following reasons. Any proposed use must have a reason for refusal. The development officer making the motion for refusal shall provide reasons for the permit's refusal in their motion. So staff recommendation, staff have reviewed the request and proposed placement of the shipping container. Given the placement of the containers not being in the direct view of any existing residential properties and the current industrial land use on adjacent properties, the staff recommendation to council is that development permit application 2025.023 for the placement of a shipping container at 1720 East Avenue. Sorry, I thought it was changed. 1531 First Avenue. I think I lost. Sorry. It's up on the screen. I know, but I lost it on my. My apologies, I lost my page a while ago. 1531 East Avenue be approved, subject to the conditions as outlined in option 2.
Very good. Thank you, Shar. Okay, let's get a motion first.
Worship, I move that council approve the development permit application 2025-023 for the placement of 7 sets of shipping containers at 1531 First Avenue Northwest be approved, subject to conditions outlined in option 2.
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. All right, any questions on this or concerns? Yes, Councilor Bador.
The property to the north, or it looks like is that Parks? Is there anything developed in that north of that building?
No, that's Parks.
Okay. And the only other question, I don't know if it matters or not, is this personal or business?
It's for a business. Okay. Their business is going to be long-term storage.
Good questions, thank you. Anybody else? No? Hearing none, then I will call the question. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you very much. All right, Director, Coordinator Malcolm, I'll stop doing that straight away, I promise. Next up is the Elmer Street.
Okay. A discretionary use development permit application has been received from Dirk Schenner for an addition of use at 409 to 415 Elmer Street. Notices were provided to all property owners within a 75-meter radius of the subject property, which notifies them of the application and the opportunity to provide their concerns and feedback to council. Notices were sent out on October 31st, 2025, and the response deadline was on November 14th, 2025 at 12. There were no responses received. Dirk Schenner in 2024 purchased lots 409 to 415 Elmer Street for the development of a tire shop as per the sale agreement. He's now requesting to develop an attached dwelling unit addition to the proposed tire shop that is to be built. An addition of use is required as the location was previously permitted for the tire shop, and a dwelling unit as an accessory use is a discretionary use under the zone. Discretionary use developments require approval from council under zoning bylaw 2020-3412. The property is zoned light industrial, which allows for dwelling units accessory as a discretionary use. These types of developments are meant to be secondary to the industrial activity of the property and are not meant to house the owner, watchman, or a caretaker and their family whose duties are essential to the security of the industrial use. Additionally, the land is located within the flood fringe and requires the main floor of the development to be built to a minimum of 0.5 meters above the 1 to 500 year flood elevation. So council options. Option 1, approved development permit 2025.024 to facilitate an addition of use to the property 409 to 415 Almer Street for the discretionary use of a dwelling unit without further conditions. And option 2, approve development permit 2025.024 to facilitate an addition of use to the property 409 to 415 Almer Street for the discretionary use of a dwelling unit with the following conditions. Consolidation of the property must be done prior to building. A tire repair and workshop must be developed on the property as a primary development. Off-site development levies of $4.51 per square foot for the tire shop and $6,768.19 for the residential dwelling shall be due upon development permit issuance. A minimum of 1 off-street parking stall is provided for the occupant of the dwelling, meeting design requirements of section 14.1.8 of the zoning bylaw. The developer or owner shall provide a stormwater management, drainage, and grading plan to the satisfaction of the City of Weyburn. The stormwater management, draining, and grading plan shall be sealed and signed by a qualified professional engineer registered in the province of Saskatchewan. Meets provincial flood protection requirements under the statements of provincial interest regulations, being that the main floor of the dwelling must be built above an elevation of 0.5 meters above the 1 to 500 flood elevation, being 567.3 meters. Option 3, refuse development permit 2025.024. Any proposed use must have a reason for refusal. The officer making the motion for refusal should provide reasons for the permit's refusal in their motion. So recommendation that council approves option 2 to approve development permit 2025.024 to facilitate an addition of use to the property 409 to 415 Almer Street for the discretionary use of a dwelling unit with the listed conditions.
Thank you. Okay, let's get a motion first. Councilor Corrigan.
Your Worship, I would move that council approve development permit 2025.024 to facilitate an addition of use to the property 409 to 415 Almer Street for the discretionary use of dwelling unit accessory with the conditions listed in option number 2.
Thank you.
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. Okay, questions, commentary on this? Councilor Morissette?
Thank you, Your Worship. Shar, does Mr. Schenner have a deadline as to when the construction needs to be at least started or completed?
Yeah, so the deadline of completion is 2 years after the closing date of his sale agreement. So it'd be October 24th, 2026 is when everything should be completed.
Thank you.
Councilor Corrigan? Oh, sorry. Any other questions? Councilor Higgs?
In your report, you had mentioned the fact that it's for the owner and or someone looking after or watching the facility. So as to say, these are not rental properties, cannot be used for rental properties?
No, it has to be someone related to the business, so the owner or a caretaker related to the business itself.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? All right. So to be clear, this is unusual. We don't do a lot of these, at least in recent memory. So the reason that this is back before us, although the original build was approved for the tire shop, because this remains, what will this property be zoned when it's all said and done, Shar?
So it's currently zoned light industrial, and it will remain zoned light industrial.
It will remain zoned light industrial. All right. Thanks for that clarity. Oh, Councilor Corrigan?
Thank you, Your Worship.
I knew you had your mic on.
I do have a question, actually. I mean, considering the uniqueness of this particular scenario, will we monitor this situation in the future at all? Or do we have the capability of doing that? Or do we just trust the individual to follow the conditions outlined?
Well, he would have to submit his drawings, and then our building officer will be doing inspections.
Okay, thank you.
question. Okay. If that's it, then I will call the question. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. All right, we're halfway through the new business. Next up is a portable sign application. Coordinator Malcolm, if you would, please.
Okay, an application from Don Poclatar of ProTouch Signs for the placement of 4 portable signs on City of Weyburn lands south of Highway 39 coming from Estevan, south of Highway 39 coming from Regina, as well as lands along Highway 13. These spots were previously presented to council by other applicants and approved the conditions. The signs will be standard, non-LED, single-sided portable signs or portable billboards. The submitted application from Don Poclatar is for the placement of 1 additional sign, portable sign on city property along Highway 39 in the vicinity of Walmart, 2 additional signs on city property along Highway 39 in the vicinity of Lost Child Towing, and 1 additional sign on city property along Highway 13, close to the intersection of Highway 13 and 16th Street, for the expansion of his business. The signs will be 2.4 meters wide, or 8 feet, and 1.2 meters long, or 4 feet, and have a surface area of 2.88 square meters, or 31 square feet. The proposed signs will comply with the regulations outlined in the City of Weyburn Portable Sign Bylaw 2024-3489, including placement, size, and duration requirements. The sign will be positioned to ensure visibility without obstructing vehicular traffic, and it will be maintained in good condition for the duration of the permit. Upon expiration of the permit, the signs will be promptly removed and the site restored to its original condition. So I just had the locations of each sign listed there. Okay. So council options. Option 1, council approves the application 2025.017 for the placement of 4 portable signs on lands along Highway 39 and Highway 13 without further conditions. Option 2, council approves application 2025.015 for the placement of 4 portable signs along Highway 39 and Highway 13, subject to the following conditions. Placement must maintain a minimum setback of 10 meters or 33 feet from the edge of the highway right-of-way. Signs must be freestanding, portable, and professionally constructed or maintained. The signs may only be displayed for the period authorized by the permit. The signs must be removed immediately upon expiration of the permit or at the request of the city. The signs must have affixed the contact information, including owner's name and phone number, to a visible location on the sign. Option 3, council directs the development officer to refuse application 2025.017. The officer making the motion for refusal shall provide reasons for the permit's refusal in their motion. So recommendation, council approves option 2 for the placement of 4 portable signs on designated city-owned properties, subject to compliance with the portable sign and zoning bylaw, safety requirements, and location guidelines outlined. Sorry.
That's okay, thank you. We have a motion.
Thank you, Your Worship. I would like to make a motion that council approves option 2 for the placement of 4 portable signs on designated city-owned properties, subject to compliance with the portable sign and zoning bylaws, safety requirements, and location guidelines outlined.
Thank you. Seconder?
Your Worship, I will second that motion.
Thank you. Questions for Coordinator Malcolm before we move on? Yes, Councillor Morris.
Thank you, Your Worship. Coordinator Malcolm, just to clarify, because you said that these signs were already approved, or are these in addition to, or are these the same signs that we approved earlier in the year?
So the locations were approved at previous meetings. These are new signs, new applications, but same locations.
So these signs will be in addition to the ones that we already approved?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Good. Anybody else? Questions? Input? Thoughts? All right. Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? That is carried. Now that that is carried, Coordinator Malcolm, if you could just help us Because it says in here, the motion was, in compliance with the portable sign and zoning bylaw. So can you help, we do a lot of signs here at City Council. So can you help us understand, and I think it would be you that would answer this, why these sign applications are always coming to City Council, that they're not already governed within the bylaw?
Yeah, so once they're being placed on city property, so all these lands are municipal buffers, which are city properties, it does need approval by council.
Okay, and that is, and where does that regulation live? In a provincial regulation, or is it one of our regulations? I know I could have asked this in advance, and I'm sorry.
No, it's in our bylaws.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Thanks for that. Just wanted that clarity. Okay, we have one item left. It is a request to purchase land. And we will go back to you, Coordinator Malcolm.
Okay, so the city received an offer to purchase from Dean McPherson for the purchase of 1402 and 1406 Veterans Road for the price of $42,000 and $40,000 plus taxes respectively. The lot prices are currently $167,578.95 and $146,007.56 plus taxes. No discounts are previously applied to these lots. These lots are fully serviced and zoned residential detached, or R1. Rezoning would not be necessary. The City of Weyburn recently sold 6 similar lots on McTaggart Drive at a discounted rate, range of $33,224.79 to $35,859.85 plus taxes. The intention of the purchase is to build spec homes on each lot. Given that the lots have not been sold in more than 10 years, the cost of developing the lots have not been recovered by the city, and there is a continued cost of maintaining the lots each year. To encourage the continued sale and development of lots within the area, it is recommended that the City Council also considers reducing the lots prices along Veterans Road. All right, so the sale will be contingent upon the following conditions. 1, both spec homes must be completed within 2 years of the date the building permit is issued. All spec homes must be single detached dwelling units and be finished graded in the front yard and have a finished hard surface driveway. Off-site development levies will not be applicable separate from the purchase price, as it was already included in the pricing of the lots. Council option 1, approve the sale of 1402 and 1406 Veterans Road to D. McPherson for the purchase price offered of $42,000 and $40,000 plus taxes per lot with the following conditions. 1, both spec homes must be completed within 2 years, and all spec homes must be single attached dwelling units, be finished graded in the front, and have a finished hard surface driveway. Option 2, provide a counter offer for the sale of 1402 and 1406 Veterans Road to D. McPherson with the same conditions listed. Both spec homes must be completed within 2 years, and all spec homes must be single attached dwelling units with finish graded in the front yard and have a finished hard surface driveway. Or option 3, reject the sale of 1402 and 1406 Veterans Road. Reasons for the refusal would have to be provided by the person making the motion. So recommendation, council approves option 1, approve the sale of 1402 and 1406 Veterans Road to D. McPherson for the purchase price offered of $42,000 and $40,000 plus taxes with the listed conditions.
Thank you. All right. Does anybody have a motion?
Your Worship, I'll make the motion that council approve option number 1, the sale of 1402 and 1406 Veterans Road to Dean McPherson for the purchase price offered of $42,000 and $40,000 plus applicable GST per lot with the listed conditions.
Thank you.
Your Worship, I'll second that motion.
Thank you. All right. Questions? We'll start with Councillor Haggs.
So you mentioned in your report that has to be built within 2 years. What happens if it's not within 2 years? What happens?
Typically, if the building requirements aren't met, then the city has the option to take back the property.
And we keep the money?
Some of it. I would have to get back to you on the exact amount that we refund, but I think the down payment is what we retain.
Yeah. I think, Your Worship, the only way I can support it is, one, that has to be a condition, that we keep all the money if the project isn't finished in 2 years. And it doesn't qualify for Weyburn Builds or any of the other programs that will virtually take the property down to $0. And I don't think 2 lots is enough to want to negotiate to that level.
Sorry, so you would, okay, yeah, I got you. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you. Okay, other questions? Councillor Bador?
As well, I struggle with this for a couple reasons. We've got many other developers in town that are trying to sell lots, and I understand that we have lots for sale. We made that decision many years ago during different times. I believe that my internal struggle is that we're undercutting our citizens that have spent money in our town and developers, and I just really struggle, and I will not be supporting this.
Councillor Morissette?
Thank you, Your Worship. I also struggled with this. I know I did send Director Malcolm a notice or a question. You didn't receive any other issues or any feedback from any of the other developers when this went out to the public?
Nope, I haven't received anything.
Do you want to maintain that, the city isn't in the business of selling lots? We just want to try and recoup some of the investment we've already put into the lots. I want to stay fair to the developers, but we also need to start collecting some tax dollars because it didn't cost nothing to put the services in there. So I will be supporting this.
Okay. Councillor Janke?
Just for clarity, when we say that it must be completed, that means that the entire house must be completed, not landscaping?
Yeah, the entire house. Both houses must be completed in 2 years.
All right. I certainly share the concerns over the existing developer lots we've got already partnerships with. I'm also of the opinion that we need housing starts, and we are not in a position to be saying no to anyone right now. These lots have been available for a long time. We haven't received any offers, and I think the understanding is out there that we are open to offers. Certainly the developers all know that. So while I certainly struggle with this, I have a hard time voting against it, and I think I will be in support.
Councillor Sadlowski?
Yeah, I'd like to echo Councillor Janke. I do understand the concerns, but I think that this council is under the impression that we are not in the development business, and there are these lots that are just sitting there and we could get rid of them. So for that reason, I will be supporting it, but I do have hesitation as well.
Anybody else? I don't know, I'm just saying.
Apparently, I'm the only one that hasn't said anything, but I would echo most of the sentiments around the table. I'm in support of the motion. This is another step forward to us getting out of the development business, and one that we should not be in.
Yeah, thank you. Probably to the city manager, maybe to the planning and development coordinator. This is 2 lots. We have still got, if this proceeds, the number of lots we still have available would be ballpark.
10.
We would still have 10. And those are 10 lots that, if I remember correctly, probably 10, 15 years since we completed those.
Your Worship, it is about 15 years since we
About
completed
15
those.
years at, $50,000 to $80,000 each when we built them. Yeah, okay. Just wanted to make sure we were all clear. Councillor Higgs had mentioned Weyburn Builds. These lots this project would qualify for that.
Yes.
Can you help us just briefly remind everybody what that benefit would be?
I believe under the spec home for Weyburn Bills, that category, there is a 3-year tax abatement, and it is transferable from the developer to the property owner. And yeah, I think that's what it really entails, just a tax incentive for that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, one last call for questions before we, Councillor Corrigan.
I'm not in favor of eliminating that aspect of it, because without Weyburn Builds, these sort of projects don't take place. And if we eliminate that, then we eliminate the whole process of being able to sell these particular lots, so.
Sorry, yeah, I was just looking for clarification.
No,
The motion does not
I
speak
agree.
to that.
Yes, I just wanted to clarify my position
Okay.
on that, that I'm in favor of allowing the Weyburn Builds program to be part of this process.
Good. Councillor Sabowski.
Yeah, I would echo Councillor Corrigan with the change to Weyburn Builds in the last year, having that transferable to the purchaser of the home. I think that is, I think it's a benefit, and I think it's a great addition to it.
Thank you. Councillor Eggs.
I just want to be clear that I'm not against it at a retail or a reduced rate, not at a $40,000 rate.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, Councillor Bador.
And one last comment.
No, we got all night here.
I think, I look at this now, whether this goes forward or not, the next 10, either we try to sell them as a package or something, because onesie, twosie, to me, just kicks a little sand into the face of some of our developers, and I'm struggling.
Fair enough. Yeah, Councillor.
If I may, I agree with Councillor Bador on that. I would feel more comfortable with this if it were a larger number, and if someone wanted to come along and take all 10 lots off our hands, I think we'd be willing to have that conversation.
Absolutely. Sure.
I mean, this municipality wants to get out of the lot business.
Would agree. We would be eager for that conversation. All right, I think if that's the questions, administration, is there anything more you'd like to add? Do you think there's anything that council has missed on this? Council, are we ready to vote then? I will call the question. All in favor? All opposed? That is carried 5-2. Okay, thanks for that, by the way. I want to commend council on that open discussion. We have had a few of these. We don't all disagree, or we don't all agree all the time, and that is okay. And it is good that we move forward, and I appreciate that open dialogue and everybody's courage to speak up. So thank you for that. We'll continue on. Inquiries and announcements is up next. So there are probably many. Councillor Morissette.
Thank you, Your Worship. This one is to our Director of Engineering. We have the thread of the white stuff. Are your crews ready to go? And where can people find the maps of the snow clearing on the city website?
Absolutely, they're ready to go. We've just been waiting. No, they're all ready. They can find the map on the city website. Honestly, a Google search, it'd probably be the easiest way. Yeah, if there's any questions regarding snow removal, that I am open, direct line, call me, same with Public Works. So yeah, anytime we are open to questions, but we're ready to go.
Perfect, thank you. And if I may, Your Worship.
You may.
For those people who may get stuck because of all of that snow, thank you to everyone who came out and purchased books at the Weyburn Library book sale. $5,000 was generated in fundraising dollars, so thank you, thank you, thank you to the community. Thank you to everybody who came out and volunteered, helped sorted books. Joanne Smith, our children's coordinator, who coordinated all the teens to move all of the boxes of books. There were just so many people there to help. So if you missed the fall book sale, the spring book sale will be held sometime in April. So that's my good news for the day.
Thank you. Councillor Sedlowski.
Yeah, I just wanted to congratulate our Weyburn Arts Council on a fantastic winter gifted market. I unfortunately missed it, but I heard nothing but great things about it. And then as well on Thursday for our Parade of Lights, I think quite a few members of council, along with some of our youth councillors, are going to be handing out hot chocolate at City Hall. So come by and say hi.
Great. Councillor Bador.
Some of you are thinking of snow. I'm already thinking of next summer, and the young fellows partnered with tourism, announced a great event for Weyburn. We're pretty excited about this. It's been working for a while, and I'm switching hats a little bit here, a little bit of both, but I'm super excited for a concert in the park. We've got Brett Kissel, we got Took, we got Johnner Brothers, we got Sass Steel, we got, there's like 2 or 3. Yeah, it's going to be huge, and it's going to be fun, and we're pretty excited. Tickets are available as of right now, so get them early.
And the city clerk and I have already started trying to figure out how to declare Friday the 26th the stat holiday, but it's unclear at this point who has that, but we're working on it. Anybody else? I would say that Festival of Trees, I think, is coming up Thursday night. So hope folks get out to be part of that as well. And if that's it, one more kudos to our youth mayor for coming tonight. Appreciate what you're doing there and the hard work that lays ahead of you with your peers. So thanks for coming, and we like seeing you guys here at these meetings. Helps to keep us on track too. If that's everything, we'll call her adjourned. See you in a couple of weeks.
If you'd like to share your feedback on the program you just watched, contact us today